These are brand new 2026 trucks, still under warranty, yet mechanics are already warning against buying them. Most owners don't notice the pattern until it's too late. The truck you're considering might already be on this list. Ford Ranger. Few expect warnings from a mid-size truck that looks this composed at a stoplight. The 2026 Ford Ranger comes with confident proportions, turbocharged torque, and a reputation built on decades of global use. On paper, it seems balanced, capable and modern. In practice, mechanics are spotting issues as mileage accumulates and systems interact in everyday use. The Ranger is appealing because it fits real life. It maneuvers easily in garages, handles commutes smoothly, and still advertises trail readiness and respectable towing numbers. But that versatility is exactly why the problems matter. This truck is not pushed to extremes. It's driven normally, serviced on schedule, yet still shows issues that shouldn't appear so early. Common complaints involve electronics integration, sensors, driver assistance modules, and powertrain management systems, all tightly packed and interdependent. When one component drifts out of spec, it can trigger a chain reaction of faults. Warning lights come and go. Software updates offer only temporary relief. Owners often leave thinking the problem is solved, only to return weeks later. The turbocharged engine performs well at low RPMs, but heat management and long-term stress are concerns. The problems are not catastrophic but small degradations that compound. Hoses, connectors, and calibration tolerances become weak points. Individually, repairs seem minor. Together, they create a cycle of repeat visits. The Ranger occupies a tricky middle ground. It's marketed as simpler than a full-size truck but packs nearly the same technology. This reduces the margin for error. Full-size trucks have more space and redundancy to absorb complexity. Compact platforms do not. Early ownership data shows a clear trend. The Ranger rarely fails dramatically but quietly erodes confidence. Time in the shop increases, trust decreases, and the cost is psychological as well as financial. Mechanics flag the Ranger not for dramatic failures, but for repetitive ones. Reliability isn't about how a truck behaves in its first year, it's about how often it needs attention under normal conditions. These warnings highlight normal ownership, showing where design ambition meets real-world durability. Jeep Gladiator. Novelty can only carry a truck so far before physics and wear raise concerns. The 2026 Jeep Gladiator makes a bold statement. It looks like freedom on wheels, shaped by open-air heritage rather than spreadsheets. That image convinces owners that compromises are character, not warning signs. Mechanics notice problems once miles stack and enthusiasm fades. So, the Gladiator really stands out for things like its removable doors, those exposed hinges, and those upright lines that, honestly, create a pretty strong emotional appeal. But, beneath all that personality, you've got a platform that's been stretched kinda beyond what it was originally meant for. Turning a short wheelbase off-road vehicle into a pickup meant making some structural compromises, and, well, those still show up when you take it in for service. Suspension and steering issues, like alignment problems and premature wear, are, unfortunately, pretty common. Sure, repairs help for a while, but the symptoms often come back, and when you look at the drivetrain systems, it's a similar story. The engine itself is generally durable, but things like cooling component sensors and driveline connections really take a beating. Even though the marketing talks up strong towing numbers, heat and vibration can show that the margins are, honestly, thinner than you'd expect. Weather exposure just makes things tougher, and you'll notice interior components aging at different rates. But these aren't really design mistakes. They're just what happens when you prioritize experience over isolation. Data shows the Gladiator has more frequent medium-severity service visits compared to similar mid-size trucks. Repairs rarely fix the problem in a single visit. Follow-ups are common. This cycle can erode confidence faster than costs alone. Emotionally, the truck creates tension between desire and reality. Owners want to love it, and many do, but ongoing maintenance can make it feel more like a project than a tool. The Gladiator retains value due to strong demand, which masks early ownership friction. Mechanics note that owners often tolerate more issues than they would in conventional trucks because alternatives feel less exciting. Distinctiveness doesn't override mechanical reality. Every design choice has a cost, and repeated small issues can change the ownership experience. GMC Sierra 1500. Comfort can hide problems longer than noise ever could. The 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 presents itself as confident and refined, with broad shoulders, quiet cabins, and layered technology. It feels controlled, deliberate, and premium. That impression holds until early patterns start showing in service records. The Sierra appeals to drivers who want strength without harshness. Ride quality is smooth, interiors are calm, and technology responds well. But these integrated systems also create potential issues. Modern Sierra systems communicate constantly, and when one hesitates, others may respond incorrectly. Mechanics describe a familiar cycle. Warnings appear, disappear, then return. Software updates reduce symptoms without addressing root causes. Sensors drift, modules misinterpret signals. While these issues don't strand the truck, they erode trust. Transmission behavior draws the most attention. Shifts can feel inconsistent under light throttle. Calibration adjustments change performance temporarily, but rarely resolve it completely. Owners notice hesitation one week and harsh engagement the next. Each service offers partial improvement, but inconsistency accumulates over time. It's not outright failures that frustrate owners, but unpredictable performance. Steering weight, brake response, and ride quality can shift subtly day to day, creating the sense that the truck is always adjusting. Over time, this inconsistency becomes mentally exhausting. Trips feel less relaxing, towing demands more focus, and drivers instinctively adapt their habits to compensate.